Hey, Laura J. here to say, what's the point? The point is evolution. The point is evolving in our collective consciousness and individual consciousness. The point is in loving deeply, by learning to love ourselves. CELLS, first and foremost. For this is the vessel that contains our soul. And our soul is the God spark that came here to be an individuated expression of the grand overall designer from which we all come from, we all return to, and only feel separate from when we put God into a box and thus turn him, her, it into a dog by reversing the order of the words, of the letters. And then creating words that make us feel like we're talking about different things because there are certain differences in what we're describing, and yet the truth is that it's all just the same. What is the point? This whole con video game is designed to work with the fear and then trigger anger to create division between those of us who see the lies as obvious, because we have been able to remove the blinders from what was previous oblivious. And yet if we just are looking for truth without adding love to the equation, that is when we let them win. And by them, I mean the controllers, the ones that are looking at all of the dots on the map of life that are not actually standing in their power because they have not been taught how to do it and thought that would naturally be part of the education system, when that is not the truth. We will not be taught how to stand for our rights and how to stand for truth and how to actually trust ourselves unless we advocate for ourselves. I've been in far too many positions to see people who didn't know how to advocate for themselves, and I helped. And I have changed a few lives because of that. My willingness to see what was happening and to say, no, that's not okay, and I'm going to do something about it. And I say to you that that is what we must all do. This post was inspired because there was a woman leaving the hospital from her doctor's appointment who saw a woman who was having chemo treatment, and they were talking loudly, and she was upset that one would walk by without a mask, and she was venting at that one who could potentially infect her. And then there was a man who had it to his limits who said, why is your death any more important than anybody else? The world's dying, everybody's dying. Why is your death so special? And it was followed by a post of a news reporter who was not wearing a mask and who was getting belittled and chastised by one who was observing him get ready for his performance, at which point then he puts on the mask to go live. And he got ridiculed and pointed out for the hypocrisy of it all, and his shoulders sank and he was clearly defeated. And it was so sad in my heart. We're being right now asked in this con video game drama to go against our own divine nature. We are being asked to keep ourselves safely separate from one another, to put God into boxes that turn the dog into one who bites when backed into a corner. For that is truly what we have to understand is being instigated right now, so that we can learn to rise above it together. To gather is how we gain power. And it is not by coming together to fight against somebody on the opposite side of the street who's holding a different sign. It is to send love and compassion to all of the divine's creatures, for we are all part of the same thing, this whole experiment on planet Earth. Plain T, terrain. We get to walk around here in the 3D, knowing that we are actually so many more dimensions than this. It's just we haven't tuned into those. And if you're interested, read the CIA Gateway Process report. There's information about the fact that we are the center point, the black and white hole, which is actually will and spirit merged. The heart is the magnetic field that connects us all, For it is right behind the heart chakra that we have the secret chamber of the heart where the threefold flame of wisdom, love, and power sits. And that is what we came here to grow, to amplify, to magnify, to enhance, and to not necessarily do it just for ourselves, which is very Luciferian, satanic, selfish. It is about understanding how to love those who don't get it the way that we see it. And to not say that they're wrong per se, but it is to say, where's the love? Where is the love? Where is the love? It's time to bring it back. We're here to bring the love back to the forefront. It's true, I'll be off tune at times, and so will you be. And yet if you will just stay true to yourself, truly that is the true lie that you can stand behind. And you don't have to sink down your shoulders 'cause someone calls out the hypocrisy of what you believe and what you show the world to see. It's true that we are here to be ourselves. Let's take off all the masks of self-image, whatever makes you feel safe, and yet know that these cells are either filled with fear or faith. That is the self we're ultimately coming to understand, and if we can band together, what's the point to be? The point is to be. The point is to be our authentically fabulous selves, and as Marianne Williamson shared in Our Deepest Poem, in Our Deepest Fear, a poem that has tremendous wisdom, we ask, who am I to be brilliant, talented, gorgeous, and fabulous? Especially when someone who's already fed up with life and all the BS, belief systems naturally, they're projecting their venom onto one who is already weak in order to steal power, because that is how, when we feel disconnected from our direct connection to the divine, we then start to steal from one another. And if we don't address this before the crisis hits, then it's going to get real bad. And sure, it may yet get that way, because whenever there is a change in leadership, it is very turbulent and rocky and tumultuous and not fun. And yet, if we can learn to get ourselves grounded in our cells and fill those cells with faith instead of false evidence appearing real, or better yet, false emotion appearing real, that is when we can get ourselves back aligned to the present moment, this present now moment where all time is always happening, past, present, future, all of it is now when we're in it, which is the only moment that we ever truly have power. That is the true lie. Your future is going to be determined by how you show up now, then, and now. So choose. Let us dream a new dream together. Let us come together and empower ourselves to be the ones who actually co-create the future we desire. And no, it is not about any one person's death being more special than anyone else's. But it is to say that you matter. You are special. And if you are able and willing to create a special practice that will support you in being able to do what you came here for, you bless and grace this world. And that is what I am grateful for your willingness to do. So I hope this message inspires you to see things a little differently. Please do leave a comment below, like the video so that others have an opportunity to see it, because then hopefully it'll improve my algorithms. Though with a message like this, it's a bit controversial, and that means that it doesn't necessarily get shown to as many as what trash does, because trash litters and pollutes the inner kingdoms of those that I am trying to help stay resolute in love and presence in the now moment that is always happening. ALL ways. Now. So, thanks a lot. Have a great day. Lord Jai. Namaste. Namago.